So this dish comes from a lot of immigrants, particularly in northern Italy, the Goria region. Many of them historically in their families were fishermen, and when they moved to New York, some kept going all the way to San Francisco. When they arrived, the bay was teeming with fish. This is going to be a take on San Francisco style Cioppino. So I'm going to get started right now. So first thing is get your pot hot. We're going to add some oil, and we're going to start sauteing some of the vegetables that are going to add a lot of flavor to this dish. Once the oil starts shimmering, we can start adding our vegetables. So we're going to start with a little yellow onion. And some red onion. I like to use both. Yellow onion for the power and the aromatics, and red onion for the more of a sweet flavor. So the idea here is just to cook the vegetables long enough so they're translucent, they're a little bit softened before we add our sauce. Next one, carrots. And of course, celery. We'll just let those sit for a couple of minutes. So then we'll add a small amount of salt and pepper. Just to get those flavors incorporated. Red bell pepper. I really like to add a little bit of the leeks to any soup mixture that we're making. Here again, here's another vegetable I happen to love, some chopped fennel. And last but not least, 6 chopped jalapenos. We want a little bit of fire in these flavors. So we'll just let this continue cooking for another 5 minutes or so. So now we're going to add a little tomato paste and begin to make our stock. San Marzano tomatoes. And this is some homemade fish stock made from halibut. Fresh chopped garlic. Now we're going to let this simmer for a few minutes. And then a couple of quarts of water. Okay, we're going to let this simmer for about 20 minutes. Then I'm going to start adding the seafood. I like to use a little clam juice to give it a little bit more of a fishy kick to it, a little more flavor. So I've got 2 small bottles of clam juice. And of course, the star of the show, La Merica. La Merica is a wine that the concept came from Tom Davies, and the idea was when the Italian immigrants arrived in the 1800s, there was a small wine industry. The grape varieties that were grown at the time were unusual, and often it was a field blend. They would go in and just pick the whole field, ferment it together, and make a single red wine. That's where the origin of this concept came from. But also the history of Sattui Winery. On each and every label, there's a photo from back in the day when Dario Sattui's great-grandfather, Vittorio Sattui, started his winery in San Francisco, up in North Beach. in 1885. So this is something we're very proud of. It brings a lot of our heritage to play. So of course we have to christen the Cioppino with a little Merica. Just to add a little bit more flavor, we're going to use some red pepper flakes, just a small amount. Another one that I like to use, fennel seeds going in. There's a lot of ingredients in this dish, and that's what makes it complex. Just like our wines, we're often blending many different varieties, many different terroirs, many locations. And cooking and wine have everything to do with each other, everything in common. We're going to add a few bay leaves for flavor and some sliced lemon. The lemon will add a little bit of tartness and some great citrus flavors. That's what I'm talking about. So now we're going to start adding our fish. And I've got a couple pounds of fresh halibut right here. We also have some scallops and a little bit of squid. So we're going to let the fish cook for about 6 to 7 minutes, and then we'll start adding some more ingredients. This is squid or calamari that I cut up and soaked overnight in buttermilk. The buttermilk tends to tenderize the squid and make it much more easier and less chewy. Now I'm going to put in the shrimp. Well, this question always comes up, and of course it's extremely important. Which wine are you going to serve with this Cioppino? And there's a number of different choices. I like a delicate rosé, a Grenache or a lighter red like Pinot Noir, or a heavier bodied red, which is what I'm having, which is the Merica. Riesling, some Muscat if you like it sweeter, are also good choices. Cheers, everybody.